Today on AgriFocus, I want us to talk about a very interesting um, a crop here called maize. And this is one of the crop that many people disregard and see just as a subsistence type of crop. And I planted this maize like 2 weeks ago. Um, now, now as we speak, this that was on 12th of August, and now we're on 26th of August. Now, I know most of you would ask, why plant on August? Now, the reason I planted this maize on August, one of the reasons is like this is an off season. I will harvest this maize probably January or February. And the reason I planted this maize is not for dry harvesting. I am planting this maize mainly for the green maize. I don't know. I know most of you, especially those who like Mahindi Choma. That is the purpose of this maize. I planted this maize mainly for selling this maize as a green maize, not as a dry harvested maize. Now, probably this is a variety called. Probably some of you will be asking, what variety is this? Now, this is a variety called the hybrid 6213. That hybrid variety is mainly a high altitude maize variety. So this place, this is a Inapkoi, was in Gishu County, and it's one of the highest habitable places in Kenya, with an altitude of approximately 2,400 to 2,700 meters above sea level. That is quite high, and in a normal circumstances, an altitude as such is very cold. So probably this maize is suitable for this place. And I planted two varieties. One, I planted the hybrid, and the other one I planted the OPV. Now, OPV is a variety mainly a second generation of the hybrid, and I planted it over there. So the reason I planted these two varieties, I want to compare and see how does they how do does even how I want to know how they do. People disregard the OPV and go for hybrid mainly. So I want to try. Basically, as you can see, it is August, and most of the maize around here is almost harvest. It's almost for harvesting. As you can see over there, it's probably a month and a half. They will be ready for green maize, for those who are selling as a green maize or for normal use of the harvesting. So so the reason I did it on here, the reason I did plant this maize in August is like nobody here has ever tried to plant maize at this time of the year. Basically, it is because most people really focus on dry harvesting maize. Like nobody plant maize. People here plant maize mainly for subsistence use, like they just harvest and use it as food for their home, like they're not domestic use. But I did plant this maize mainly for as a business. I want to try and see if well, I planted last year maize and I sold it, but I planted with the normal days, the normal time of the year. So I sold it like probably it was November, and it was a good amount. So this year I said let me do off season for the purposes of price. I know when I will be selling this maize, it will be probably a high season, climax. There'll be no maize few people will be having maize, and that will hike the price. And that is the goal of any other business. The higher the higher the demand, the higher the prices. So that is my target mainly. I also do potato farming over there. I planted that potato is probably in the next 2 weeks. I'll be selling those potatoes, and this place is very good for potato farming. But one thing about potato farming is the seed. It's very difficult to get the seeds that are good because this place is a bit high altitude, which is good for potato, good for peas. And nowadays farming is like it's basically a business. It's agribusiness. So whatever you're doing, keep on trying, keep on making those moves, and at the end of the day, the goal is to make money. Whether you're a farmer or a doctor, it doesn't matter. Money is money. So I want to urge any other young person out there who is trying to figure out things. If you have an interest in farming, I want to suggest that you go for it, try it. You know, failing is not the end of it. Failing is part of the process. So keep on trying. Let's do this. We can. There's money in farming. I have done it for quite some time. I started doing farming when COVID came, and it's been nice. And I like this camera here. I bought it through farming. So